Hello and welcome to another week in our garden. Now we've had some real nasty storms this week, a lot of wind, so we haven't really been in the garden, but I have been out collecting material so we can make this holly ring with you. We'll make a holly ring similar to these. Everyone's always a little bit different because you're using natural materials obviously. But there's 5 here and I've already sent 9 up that we donate to the village for their coffee morning. I do believe they was all sold out. So now I'm doing these, what I do for the neighbours both sides, so everybody can have a nice holly ring hanging on the door. Now this is the ring base we're going to use. I also need some jute string for putting the straw on, binding wire when I come to put the conifer and the hollies on, a pair of secateurs and a pair of scissors. And the first thing we have to do is put the straw onto the ring. So we'll start with tying the jute string on. And then off we go. I'll just move those out of the way else they tend to get buried. This is just barley straw, what you get from the pet shop. It's nice and soft and clean. There's no real dust in it. So I just roll the first piece up and put it on. Now size wise, I do it to about my hand going round, not too tight though. Whatever you do, don't make the straw tight, else you'll never get the other things into it, but not loose obviously. And then just go round binding it on, keep moving your hand as you go, keep putting straw on. It's a messy piece of the job this is, but it's well worth it. You can actually buy them ready strawed, but I did try one, but they was too heavy made and far too hard to get the holly etc. into it. So I've gone back to binding my own. Right, I'll do one more to show you how I do it. It's about an inch apart with the binding, but just try to keep it about the same as you go. That hand grip is enough to keep it all the same. So I'll do this one and then I'll finish and show you what we do then. Now as you can see, I've gone round once and got the straw on, and now I go round a second time. But as I go, I keep my hand on the straw, moving it forward about an inch at a time. And this tidies the ring up a little. We still have to go around with the scissors, but this just tidies it a bit. And it's only jute string, so eventually it will soon rot. Remember, not too tight. Keep moving my hand. So I'll finish this round today. You can see the difference, look, that it makes. And then we just go around again with the scissors. I'll take this down and then I'll show you. There you are then. I've been around twice and now just tie it off. If you just pull a loop on your thumb, pull it up and just tie it off. Not too tight. Just tie it off. That'll be fine. And then cut that off. There you go. Now what we do now, you can see there's still a bit sticking out, so you go around with the scissors. Careful though you don't cut your string, else you'll have to do it all again. Not bit too much, just the long bits. Can you see, not just those bits, that's fine. Right, now we'll clear the table down and we'll start with the conifer. Now before we start, we'll just flatten the ring down a little bit. That's fine. Not a lot, just enough. And we'll use the binding wire now with the bobbin, and we fasten it to the frame. Now before we start conifering, I forgot to tell you that on the frame they have these cross pieces on them, so when you come to put the straw on, put it with the cross pieces uppermost, and then it will stop you scratching your hand on it when you're conifering and hollying. I forgot to tell you that, sorry, but that's the best way. Right, just tighten that a little. The conifer, there's about three varieties in here. There's some yellow, some green, and some really dark green as well, you see. And then there's also like a blue. Can you see that's a bit blue? So I mix these together, and then the whole thing doesn't look all one colour when it's finished. The other thing we use is this, which is Christmas tree, Picea abies. My next door neighbour has a huge tree of it, so she lets me cut a few bits off every year. So, and she supplies a lot of the conifer as well. She's a lovely girl. So remember, when we're putting this on, we'll put the conifer on, then we'll put that at the side, so it gives it a nice base when we finish. So let's get going. I'll do the start and a couple, and then I'll do the finish so you can see how to finish it. Just get some up to start with. And we start by putting it at the side and then building it across. Just keep picking a green one up if you can, a blue one or a yellow one, or just let it come naturally. But you'll find it's quite easy to pick up. Now this, the first one, I'm trying to do it a little bit longer than normal because I need to, when I finish, I go underneath. So if we put some of the longer bits on, and there's a nice yellow one there, look, to finish it all off. So if we do that, and we want more at the sides than what we got on the top, because we're going to build the whole ring up on the top. The sides is where that will show. When we've done that, look, we take a bit of Christmas tree. Make sure you get your Christmas tree the right way up. That's it, look. And then we start binding. Get your wire, and over you go. One, and once you've got the first one on, you can spread it about a bit. Then two, and this one we do a third one, just to make sure it holds while we get the next one ready. There you are. Just push it down, and then we start again. Always do, make sure you got a good bottom on it. So down there is where it will hang on the wall, so you really need to pack plenty in. If you don't, it'll just fall and open up. Then on again. I know some people like to do groups of it and put it on, but I find this way is the best for me. plenty on, and then a bit of Christmas tree. You can see how it buries into the ring as you go, and it looks quite nice when it's finished. Try and put a shorter one on the inside than what you do on the outside, obviously. Then take them across. I normally do 2, but with it doing it slowly, we'll put 3 turns on it today. One more then, and then I'll take it round. You can see some of these have got blue at the back and green at the front, so you just keep turning them and mixing them. And then do try a little bit of yellow in there as well. That's a handful that I know I've done the bottom of this ring tight then. Then I can hold that and build the rest up. A little bit more out. You get through quite a bit of conifer this way, but you're only cutting it small, so it sometimes takes longer to cut than what it does to make the ring. Nice bit of yellow. Can you see? Look, just keep your tension on the bobbin all the time. That Christmas tree was upside down, so put it the right way around. It's thinner on one side than the other, that's how you know. A little bit on there, and then same again. I'll take it over on a 3 so you can see it before I finish it off. Now remember, it's thinner on top, look, because we're going to actually build on top. So there's no need to put too much on top, but it matters to put plenty on the edges. Not so much on the middle, else you'll find that you'll not be able to see through it. And now I'll go all the way round to there and show you how I make the 2 together. Now we've come right round to the beginning again. Now if we take those, put your hand underneath and pull them back. Remember, we used a little bit longer when we started, so they'll pull back easy enough. And then we just carry on. The one thing I was going to tell you is, if I find one, if you get one that's a little bit woody, got a stick in it, push it into the straw before you put it on, and then it all helps hold everything down. Again, too woody sticking up, there'll be bits of wood sticking out all over. Just keep going. Plenty on the edge, don't forget, else we'll have a hole. That's a nice one. No. There you are. It's got a little bit of wood on it, that one, so I'll stick the wood into the straw to lock it in. And a little bit of yellow on there, I think, to finish off. There it is. Push it in because it was woody, and then just push it down. Now I'll just put the tension onto the bobbin. I think one more smallish piece to go in this bottom. 2, in fact, that's it. Then make sure that's out the way from last time. Put some Christmas tree on it, like we do. One on the inside. Then tension and over. Pull tension tight. Then lock again with 3 again, so it locks that down then, and it won't tend to loosen itself. Now as you come up round your thumb like that, and then back, and then pull it down a little bit and just knot it off. Like that. Pliers or scissors to cut the wire. Now I use secateurs. You're not supposed to do this, but we will and do. There you go. That goes in the bin. And then if I can show you what to do then, I open this up again and let it fall onto there. Any bits of straw you just pull out there. These pieces that are too long, just find the stem and cut them off so they're not so long. Now what we do now, I'll just get rid of this. That's the ring conifer based. What I normally do now is I go round it and I just gently turn, not the ring but the conifer, down a little to the sides, and that will make a nice seal to the door or the floor, whichever you're going to put it on. And just pat it again flat. That's fine. To put the cones on, I also mount them on some blue spruce, which although they don't actually live together, but they look nice together, so that's what we'll do. And I'd put 9 cones on a door ring, and if I'm doing a ring for a grave, I don't put cones on. Use the binding wire and I feed it into the cone like that, then I pinch it tight and then I twist, put a few twists on it, and then I move to the next one. Always give yourself a long piece of wire. And then this one on like that and twist it same as the first one, and then sit it down next to that one. They'll pull in all right. And the third one same way through the cone, nice bit of distance, and then twist it and it shorten itself as well, and then you can pull it together like that. Then I put a knot into the wire, and then the second one, as I pull it down, I put my finger in like that, so I leave a loop. Then I take this is Juniper. Now while the weather stays cold, wet, this will stay green. When it gets too hot in summer, then this will obviously go brown straight away, but through the winter they stay green, so it's perfectly alright to use. And then I push it through that hole and just tighten. Not too tight, because if you pull it too tight you'll cut through the juniper. And then the locking one on, that bit of a tail there, we just take that off with a secateurs like that. Then all this we push up between the cones like that. Look, get rid of the wire and you'll be able to see it all up between there, and then that covers that area where all the wire is. If you just didn't put that in, you'll straight down and see all the wires. Then we turn it over, we take the spruce reverse it, so this is the back. Let me just put a loop in. It makes life easy if you put a loop in. And we put one that way, sort of like that, and the other one like that. The idea is if you push them well through, it's a bit awkward with the camera there, but I'll do it. Push them well through and then lock them back a bit. The needles on these spruces will actually lock that in for you and hold it steady. And then tighten up. Again, don't over tighten, else you'll cut through the wood. And then double knot that, obviously, and then flip it over, and there you are. If this is a bit long, just take a bit off, it's no problem. There you go. Now we need to mount these onto the ring. Now I need, if you space them about right, and then give one side a little more, because I want to put two groups of holly there with the berries on, and then the ribbon in the middle, so that gives me room there to do it, and there, that'll be fine. I'll put this one on with you and then I'll mount those two. Now before you mount one of these, part the conifer best you can and really press down hard, because you need an indentation for this to sit in, else it'll be wobbling about on top. And then feed your wires through all the conifer like that. And I'm actually going to put these with some going out and a little bit on the inside. So we just turn that over now and tie it off. Now these have to be very, very tight, so either gloves or pliers even to give it a pull. You need to be very tight. If you don't, they'll be wobbling. So I twist mine round. I use secateurs because the pliers are not so good. Then these sharp pieces that we've left on, you can't really see them, but you bend the ends over, turn them and push them into the straw, so you've got no sharps facing upwards. You've got enough sharps on these with all the holly, and then square that how you want it, and then I'll mount the other two there. There's the 3 lots of cones on. Remember to strap them in tight, because the one thing that will move on these rings is the cones, so as tight as you can on those. Now we're going to build some of these, which quite simple really. Yeah, well, we'll use 4, I think. We're 4 on this ring. Keep the wires straight down and not get tangled. So we'll do 4 of those now, and to build them, we use, this is actually holly that's not got any prickles on it. You see that one's got a few on there, but that don't matter. So put 2 of those together. We'll put the euonymus out the garden on there. Euonymus will last. Then we'll use these ivies. Now we could use the ivy leaves, but what I found is that if you put them in the ring, they don't last and they turn black and they look horrible. So what we do, we cut the flowers off. We'll use the flowers but not the leaves. Like that, and we'll do this one as well just in case you want it. A little bit more of the juniper, and then we'll put that together. Obviously you need the wire, and we put it together in the hand. Put the two hollies together. Use two, makes it, thickens it up a little bit. A little bit of euonymus in there, like that. That's fine. Any leaves that are going the wrong way, just take them out. There you are. Like that. We'll put the juniper on there. Give it a bit of fluff around it. Then we'll put, this is a different ivy. It's called Paddy's Pride, but it has these big lovely flowers on. We have one on the fence, so I can take a few of those. These are just wild ivy that I collect out the woods when I'm collecting the holly, and then as you saw we just cut the flowers off. Make it something like in your hand. Your wire, plenty of length on your wire, 1, 2, 3, and then tie. And it's simple as that. Try not to knot too tight, else you'll cut all those stems. But we need it so it's tightish, shall we say. These are the only groupings we do on the rings. These and the cones. It makes life a bit easier. You'd never be able to put all those straight into the ring with your wire. The best way to do it like this. Hold it like that and cut them to the back. Don't cut it straight. Face it to the back and cut. Better than that. There you are. So you're not seeing all those cut bits. Give it plenty of wire so we can tie it on, and then we'll get them mounted. This is the bottom of the ring. If you see, I put a little bit more blue spruce on the bottom so it hangs better. So what we'll do, we'll put one either side of the bottom ring, and then one at the top of those. So we use this bottom of the ring to put these in. I pressed it down because I want them to go well in, so we're not seeing all those cut edges there. If I get my wires, I've lost it, see here. If I get my wires, I can normally pull them in quite well. So get it in position, lift your conifer up and away, and then push them in with the wire at the back, and that should hold nicely there. So, and then we tie that off. Same again, put a loop and then I twist so it's nice and tight. Cut it off. I'll probably have to buy a new blade for this secateurs now. And then bring it up, pop it in, and that's how I do it. I'll put another one there, and then one above and one above, and then I'll come back to you. Now there's the stage we're up to at the moment. We've got the ivy and the cones but you can't have a holly ring without holly, so the next stage is to put holly on. Now this holly that I got out of the woods is quite kind. It's not too fierce. It's not too fierce for me, but it's also not too fierce for the people who have the ring as well. Now if you remember all that wire we put in, now we can get underneath that wire and press it in. And to do it, second is to do it, I find if you cut a sharp on the holly, on the stem, you can push it in a bit easier. As you see, that goes in quite nicely then. So that'll go that way. We'll have that piece there. I'll try and show you a bit clearer this one. If you cut at the angle, zunk, and then turn that and cut that off at the other angle, put a sharp on it. That'll do for the underside of that one. So we'll put that one in next. There it goes, under there. Spread the leaves, and then this one, you only need 3, and that's already sharp, so that one will go in there. It's difficult to show you, but I will try it with the next piece. It is going in, believe me, but you can't just leave it on top, because can you see, look, all those have gone underneath one of the wires underneath the conifer, so that's good. Now we need to put a little crown in there. We'll finish this one and then I'll do the rest and show you. So you take a piece of variegated holly, and what we're looking for is a piece like that that offer to sharp, and then we'll go for this one. I think the actual variegated holly is sharper than the green today, and we'll go in there, look, and we'll cut that at an angle like that. Obviously that bottom leaf, we'll have to lose that, and then work that into there. I don't know if you can see, but I'm looking for the wire again. If it doesn't go into a wire, I can't leave it. That's in up now. That's quite firm, that's good, and it's the right way up, showing. Now do the same with this one. This leaf here will have to come off, and that one. Those will be fine, I think. Now what we do, we put this one at the opposite angle. Again, looking for a wire, and I've got one there, look. Here it is, and that's made. So you've got one going that way, one going that way. Now the berries we actually buy plastic ones, because if I used real berries in these, in a few days the birds have whipped the lot off. They don't seem to bother with these, so we'll use these. So what to do, I put a tie, I'll show you there. I tie the berry on like that. Now I've got control of that now. So, and the other one I put, because they're in a 5, I put 2 on the wire like that and just let it hang, and then I put a loose tie onto it. Again, don't pull very hard because these are only plastic and they'll just snap. And then we take the berries and pop them in and move the wires through all the conifer, etc., until we've got it where we want it, and then we'll turn and tie off. Good pull, and then spin it down. And we'll show you this one, and then I'll get on with them. Remember to turn that wire and push it into the straw, and then there's no sharp. Then you come, just dress it and fluff it up a bit, make it look something like, make sure they're all in the right direction. Now I should put another group here the same, and then 2 groups at the top, because I'd like to put the ribbon between. So I'll put these on, and then we'll come to putting the ribbon in. Now that's the ring ready to have its ribbon put in. Now this is a door ring. Now if it was a grave ring, instead of putting the cones on, we put more rosettes of the holly and the variegated holly, and the ivy goes on, and then it makes a smooth ring, because as I said before, if you put this on the grass outside and it rains and it gets cold, these cones will close. I have markers on the bench where I can do the ribbons every year to the right length. So that's the long one, and that there is the short one. The first thing we do, we take the short ribbon and tear it in half, because they'll be the ties. And we take the large ribbon and take it to halfway, and then we pinch it and do a fold over, and then a fold over on that one, like that, and we get them so they're about the same balance, or perhaps a bit bigger than that. There you are. Get it like that, and then we kink it upwards and the top one down, but always try and finish with the last one at the front kinked up like that, then it will give you a nice ribbon. Then we take one of the short pieces, put it on, put it round the back, and tie it, pull, tie it, and then make the knot so it's the opposite, so that it pulls square to like that. Then you can turn it over, balance the 2 loops up and pull the long bits down, and then we can take that, and we're actually going to tie it between these 2, because this is the top, that's the bottom, remember. I'm trying to bury the ribbon so you don't actually see it when it at the top. There you go, look. Turn it over, tie off, nice and tight. Cut those off. Now to make the hoop to hang it up, put the other short ribbon through there, tie it, a good tight knot that won't slip, like that. Move the knot back to the wire, push them under that other one so it holds it nice and steady. There we go. Knock that off. Cut the tails off like that. Turn it over, get your ribbon nice and open, and then what we do, we cut these at an angle like that, and this one the same, about there, like that. Now that's the ribbon finished, nicely hung. It's got a nice hook at the top, and if I hold it up, there you are. That is one door ring made especially for Sharon, that one. Now that'll be it for this week. It's getting very cold in the shed now. Diane says she's gone. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do have a go at making one of these rings. It's just a case of gathering materials up and spending the time doing it. Takes quite a time, but it's well worth it. Now then, thank you for watching. Many thanks for subscribing. We do appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you next week. But take care everyone. Bye now.